If there was one thing that we can all agree on regarding the Citroen C5 X7, is that its solution for a cup holder up front is very, how should I put this, leaves a lot to be desired, I suppose would be the nicest way to put it. For those of you who don't know, the reason is because it's in the center cubby, which is ridiculous on many levels, but we're not going to get into that. In fact, it's become a bit of a joke within Citroen C5 X7 owners circles. Hashtag don't mention the cup holder. Many a solution has been proposed by C5 X7 owners over the years, nearly all of which, as far as I know, consist of sacrificing a shelf there is beneath the radio and having a mechanism deliver one or two cup holders, which is, I have to admit, a very elegant solution. I think it's an excellent idea, but it does have its shortcomings. First, it covers up the 12-volt socket and the ashtray, which I use as storage. And also, if you put for example, a bottle of water and prop it up there, as you can see on camera, it will cover up buttons on the radio. So it's not perfect. Now I thought I'd tackle that, so I made my own solution, and here it is. It doesn't look like much, I know, but bear with me. Now, some of you may have already watched a video on this channel where I made a phone holder that exploited this gap in the dashboard. This gap is very useful, and in it goes. Voila, cup holder, very useful because it frees up all the buttons here. None of them are covered up by a cup or anything at all. I've got access to everything here, 12-volt socket, shelf, everything. It doesn't interfere with this shelf up here, even with a bottle, which is good. I use this shelf a lot. So I'm very happy with this solution. It's not perfect though. I should also point out the disadvantages. First, it's in the passengers area, so it's sort of like encroaches in their personal space, if you know what I mean. My daughter was fine with it, my wife was fine with it, but she did end up pushing it over, more or less unknowingly. And the other sort of like disadvantage is that it wasn't correctly made. I made it and I didn't compensate for the angle of this gap. So anything I put with liquid there isn't exactly level, which isn't desirable. It should be level in relation to the way, you get the idea. It should be level, and it isn't. But I can easily make another one. Now, how did I make this? You might notice it's not the same as most of the things I've made for the car so far, because this is 3D printed. Now, for those of you who aren't interested in technology, this is where we say farewell. Thank you very much for watching. For those of you who remain, 3D printing, either you know it or you want to know more about it. And it's a type of additive manufacturing. How should I put this? Additive manufacturing is the contrary of subtractive manufacturing. Subtractive manufacturing, you think sculptures and CNC and that sort of thing. And additive is where you add material to get whatever it is you're trying to make. So in this case, there are various types of 3D printing, by the way, but this type of 3D printing, called either fused deposition modeling or fused filament fabrication, but that doesn't matter. Filament, which is sort of like melted plastic, is deposited layer after layer, and it builds up until you get the object you want. This wasn't all built at once. This is built in 1, 2, 3, 4 different pieces that can all actually come apart. It comes apart because I broke it. It shouldn't be this way, but let's gloss over that. The good thing about this is, as long as you have the computer model, you can make as many of these as you like. There's something that I have to correct here, which I can just correct it in the CAD software and then redo it. It's 3D printing. There's loads you can do with it. Why is it orange? Because that's all I had. The filament, the only filament I had available was orange. It would be better black because it'd be a bit more discreet, but for the time being, that's what I got. Also, it's made of a type of plastic that is not actually adequate for cars. This type of plastic is called PLA, polylactic acid. It's really good because it's biodegradable, comes in many different colors and different finishes, but it's susceptible to changes in temperature. So in the summer, if you leave something inside the car, it will melt and warp, as I found out with this tray from my old Volvo S60. Lifted out in hot weather and it turned into this warped mess. So come the summer, I don't know if I'm going to replace it or make it in another material. We'll see. But for the time being, it will do. It's horribly cold this time of year in northern Portugal, so I'll be fine with this. Now, if you want to make your own, you don't have access to a 3D printer, you can make it out of plastic or some other material. This hole here, 66mm, is very important because then you can have... This is a 0.5 litre bottle. You can have coffee cups here, like so, and even a smaller coffee cup, which I'll probably have to redo. I did make a little slot in the bottom, 45mm diameter slot to have a cup of coffee. That's not... Whoops. So yeah, that's my solution. I'm pretty happy with it, and I don't know what else to say. So, hope you liked that, and if you did, you know, press the like button, and thank you for watching, etc., etc. I bid you farewell.